We do.
Could it be you calling me down? My foolish heart turns out the stars. All that I am is all that you see.
If you don't need nobody else.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Week in the VILLE. I am your host, DeonTay Smith, and today we have a very special guest with us today. I am here with executive director and producer of her book, The False Prophet, and film, Ms. Betty Humphrey Breeden. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you? And thank you for having me here today.
I am great. To start off, can you give us an overview of what you do, on a daily basis? Like, what's the daily plan for you?
On a daily basis, well, I was in the mortgage industry for many years, and that has changed since the pandemic. So on a daily basis, from that, I start working on this film and doing a little temporary work. So I don't really have too much of a schedule except working this film right now. But I was offered a position with the Father University in Raleigh, North Carolina, as their community outreach coordinator. So that's going to be a changeover because I will be relocating back to Raleigh from Florida. So that's what I do. I'm preparing that daily and working on the production, and that's pretty much it.
I want to know how long did it take to make this film, including, the writing, the casting, and, everything that entailed?
Okay, well, going a little further back from the film itself. The film was adapted from a stage play, a 3-decade vision. I wrote the stage play first.
Wow.
And we produced it on several theaters and performing arts centers. And from that, once the pandemic hit, everybody was secluded. Nobody could go visit. So I decided to make a film out of the book, out of the stage play. And that's why it's called the book False Prophet. Now, how long did it take me to film that? We started our first filming on May 15th, 2021. We were done with the filming on June 13th, 2021. Under 30 days, we filmed this. And from there, we prepared it, we edited it, and we opened at the Garden Theater in Winter Garden, Florida. That was our first screening.
We all have been ravaged, by COVID. So honestly, when you say that, the challenges we faced during COVID, I will say that it's hard. And I'd say that was a very, very great idea of turning it into a film from a stage play. What is the film initially about? Can you give us an overview of that?
Well, the film is written based on, it's really almost like a true story. It's written about how we are in the church one way, we're in Walmart another way. And we have pastors that are in the pulpit one way and other places a different way. So it came from a dream, though, that I had, an actual dream. That's why I wrote the stage play. And I built characters and put scripts with it based on how some people do act in the church. I'm not judging them, but I'm a good observer.
Right.
And I just began to write those scripts. And this book, False Prophet, is written a little deeper, right, and is showing actually the lifestyle of that prophet. He was a pastor of a church in the film. Mm-hmm. And it shows his lifestyle away from the church.
You grew up in the church.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I did too. It's amazing what God can do for us.
Absolutely.
Casting, as far as like film wise, how does that go about from moving from a stage play to a film?
Well, the first thing you do when you're planning to produce a film, you bring people together and meet with them before you cast them.
Right.
You meet with them and you tell them about what you're planning to do, talk to them about the vision, and get their why. If they were to be a part of it, why do you want to be a part of this production? And then I do a casting call, and I invite several people to cast. And from casting, I take the character and put them with the script they best fit with. And then we took it from there, and we went Zoom. We did Zoom meetings, we did Zoom table read, and we did Zoom rehearsals. And from that, we start to book, and we found locations to do the film. And we made our, the sheet that you have to, the casting call sheet for everybody, the times they're supposed to be there, what location they're to be at. Right. And we just filmed it. That's what we did. We filmed it. We did a couple of retakes, but it was only under 30 days to get it all together, and it's an hour and 30-minute film.
You're a traveler.
I used to be.
Used to be. As far as False Prophet goes, the film, how many states has this film reached so far?
Well, we started out in Florida, of course, where we filmed it. We did a screening in East Bradenton, Florida, and it was filmed in Paris, France. Went to Italy.
Wow.
We won Best Featured Film in Italy.
Overseas?
Italy.
Wow.
And it was in Virginia, and again someplace in Florida. I can't even keep up with it anymore. My producer, my co-producer, he's on top of everything. His name is Troy D. Williams,
right? And
he also stars in the movie. So it's all I know right now, and maybe that's not good, but I'm keeping up with him, and he's keeping up with where it's going. It's been 5 times Best Featured Film, but it's filmed about 8 times.
Previous to the book False Prophet, has there been any projects, films that you have written / produced?
Not films, but I've written several stage plays. One of the stage plays, as a matter of fact, the very first stage play I wrote was called The Portrayal of God's Anointed, Seeking to Save the Lost.
Wow.
And I've done that one in New York. I did it in Florida twice. And after that, I wrote the story of a true story.
All right.
I wrote a film, not a film, but a stage play based on a true story
Right.
from a young man in Florida. Brought me his life story. So we put that in script and did that on stage as well.
I know a lot of what we do. We are influenced by what we grow up around, who we are around, and just how we grew up. And you grew up here in Fayetteville.
Yes.
How did that impact your filmmaking and writing career?
Well, at the age of 16, after school, I would write. I would get in the middle of the bed and I would write comics, poems, and things of that sort. And I've used a couple of poems for special occasions, like my grandmother, Miss Lula Bobbitt, at one time. They had a special, I think it was her 90th birthday, I'm not sure. But I did a poem for her, and I did a poem at her funeral, and things of that sort I've written poems for. But that was started at the age of 16. I had a desire to write, but I had not thought about being a playwright. I just say write, But I ended up, my dream is coming to pass. I'm a playwright now.
Yes, we have dreams, we have aspirations, we have certain motivations, but those certain motivations also come with challenges. What are the challenges, aside from COVID, were there in making this film?
Challenges were more or less, I would say, getting funding or sponsors to sponsor you. But that was a big challenge, and I think I had a couple of sponsors for the production in Florida the first time it filmed. That financial, that's a challenge, kind of getting it to exactly where you want it to be.
Right.
Other challenges, I don't have a lot of challenges. I mean, I've had people ask me questions like, why would you write a book, write a play or a movie about a false prophet? Well, we have some, unfortunately.
Right.
But every preacher, teacher, prophet is not a false prophet.
Right.
And I want people to understand that. This film is written because of a lifestyle of some. And I can witness that, some of them. I will never call a name. But I've seen people actually, I've been around people who have actually lived that way.
Past this film, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, are there any upcoming projects that we should know about?
Well, I'll put it this way, and my steps are ordered by God.
Yes.
And I've given him this one. I'm working on 2 other ones. They're on my database. It's probably a good ways down the road. I don't know when I will even give it a lot of attention, but I'm trying to get settled first back in North Carolina before I actually start putting much time with that.
Right.
But it's 2 that I have written already.
Oh, really? All right. Well, I cannot wait to hear about those films. And I had one more question for you. This book is about, false prophet, the church. Is there any other genres you're interested in? As far as like filmmaking and writing?
Any other?
Genres?
Filmmaking and writing? Not really, because years ago, more than 20 years ago, I used to be in dance ministry. I love that. I choreographed a few, steps
Yeah.
back in the day. I love that, dancing, worship, dancing. But not really, I'm focusing really now on trying to get to a point that I can retire and just kind of get some residual from my work that I put out there those years. But nothing real big, unless God shows me something else.
Yes.
I don't have any major plan except to get through with the false prophet,
Yes.
hopefully pick up a distribution and be done with it, and then move on to the next 2. And there may be more after that. I love writing. So it may be more than 2 more, but my focus is really on that.
The film is coming here in Fayetteville. Where can we see that?
Absolutely. It's coming to Fayetteville, North Carolina, the AMC 14 at 4671, if I'm correct about the address, 4671 or 4761. Forgive me, but it's at the AMC 14 on Lake Valley Drive. And see, I'm not here a lot, so I'm confused for a moment. You can, find it.
I will be sure to look. I'll be sure to look.
Okay, it's there. It's on the,
Okay.
Lake Valley Drive. It's only one AMC there, 4671. I think that's what it is.
I believe so. I would have to double check.
Yes.
But
anyway, that's where we're going to be, and you can actually text me 321-663-6704 for more information if you would like. Yeah, it's the AMC. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Yeah, it is the AMC theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've just been going around in circles lately on a, roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I got all these things coming to me.
Yes.
So that's where it's going to be.
Well, we want to thank our special guest, Miss Betty Humphrey Breeden, for joining us today, for stopping by to talk to us here at 910 The Ville. If you did not get the 910 The Ville app yet on your mobile device, make sure you get that. This is DeonTay Smith signing off. We'll see y'all next week on This Week in the Ville. Deuces.